making so that it really does look like it's floating in there. In other words, this one, you can't see it much because it's so thin, but I just kind of call it a liner. It's a black liner. This is far enough down there that it actually looks like a shadow, and that painting is just floating.
It's darker,
inside that frame.
yeah. It's a
So the
shadow.
way I do that is I put this liner clear on the back of the painting, and I leave, so this painting is 3/4 of an inch deep.
Yeah.
I put this on the back, so this rabbit has to be at least 3/4 of an inch deep plus a little bit more, because you always want the frame, the top of the frame up above the painting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I've made this depth right here a little bit more than this depth,
Yeah.
so that when it sits on there, the painting is still just below the top of the frame. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I've also made sure that this fits in there really good. I can't be sloppy like I was with that one. Sorry, I just spit all over. I have to keep it pretty close. Not exactly, because you still want it to have a little wiggle room. But I'd have to be really careful to make sure that there's not too much wiggle room and that thing pretty much fits in there perfectly.
Is there any reason why you mitered those joints?
Which joints?
Those on the liner.
Because it was the easiest thing to do. But you don't have to for that.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, like I said, it just becomes, you can see it's not even painted, but it's still almost a dark line because it's a shadow.
Yeah.
But I will paint it black, so it'll look like a shadow. That is a true floating panel. It will look like it's floating in that frame.
Now, what will you paint that? Black the edges of your panel?
I'll paint this with casein, with black casein.
Oh, okay.
Just right
Right
here.
there, gotcha.
Just this.
I'm
And then it'll look like that. It'll just look like a shadow line.
Okay, and
I'm interested in this pattern you create. You just dab the what is
I've
it?